Hello there folks, just a very quick video. So the Conservative MP Liz Truss has now resigned as the Prime Minister of the UK, or Great Britain, yes. Well, God just reminded me as soon as I saw that, that people in the church were saying just a few weeks ago, well, on the day after the funeral procession of the Queen, a lot of crazy things were said. One of them was that God is going to use Liz Truss to make the path far easier for the church, and to bring glory back to the church, and etc. Well, none of that happened, did it? No. God was not really going to use Liz Truss at all, apart from to unfortunately push the point again. I was speaking to Robin Williamson earlier, and said then, when he told me about this, I said then, it's madness, isn't it? I said, society keeps on telling us that we've got to give women equal rights, and we've got to push women into positions of power because it's not been equal. But the problem is, if you just push any woman in, this is what you get. If you just put someone in because of their gender, this is what you get. You've got to put the best people in. You can't just put someone in based upon their gender. It's about time we had a woman because we just had a man. Ridiculous. That's stupidity. And was she more qualified than that Rishi Sunak chap? Certainly not more qualified, because he had been the Chancellor and he had got the country through some pretty tough situations. So obviously it's most likely he would be pretty suitable. So now who's going to get that job? I have no idea. But put it this way, the last two females we've had as the lead of the UK, and if you count the one in charge of Scotland as well, they're not very good, are they? Yeah, they basically picked three of the worst women you could pick to be in charge. Nicola Sturgeon, my goodness me, that woman. I don't think in any way, shape or form she has the best interests of Scotland or the UK in her heart or mind in any way, shape or form. And before Liz Truss, who was the other one? There was one who was in a position during COVID and failed miserably to do anything at all, and she had to resign. The Conservative Party at that point would rather lose the next election than have her in power. That's how bad it was. And now this young lady has had to resign 45 days after taking position. Insane. It's insanity. Talk about choosing the wrong people. I get the point of saying we need women who can be treated as equal, yes, but you have to go for the best person for the job. It doesn't matter whether they are male or female. Get the best person who can do the job. Put it this way, for what society, or certainly what the Conservative Party wanted done in the late 70s, Margaret Thatcher was perfect. She was basically the best person for that job, not just amongst women, but amongst anybody. I mean, certainly at the time, women would never have considered Margaret Thatcher to be feminine, because she wasn't that. She was far more masculine than most of the blokes in the cabinet or in her party. But she was perfect to get that job done. She took on the unions, because the unions were a bit out of control, to say the least, and she absolutely squished them. Which is what the business class of society wanted her to do. because the unions were causing big problems in society, especially for those people that had the money and had the power and had the they didn't like that in any way, shape or form, the power that the unions had. So she came in and, oh my goodness, did she take them on? Yeah. But she did what, certainly Trump was unwilling to do. She said coal is dead. Coal is something of the past, it's not of the future. So we're not going to continue with that. And basically, as soon as she took that decision, all the rest of the unions basically backed down very quickly. Because, of course, that was highly unionised, and that union gone. She took that on, and she dealt with that, and she was the right person. I would never have voted for her. Not at all. And I'm not sure if she was right. Certainly she was right to deal with coal, because I think coal was of the past. It certainly isn't the way that we do things now. And she was right to deal with that. Well, as I say, you've seen in America where presidents, well, certainly Trump was unwilling to say that. He was actually trying to reopen coal mines, apparently, which would not have been a good idea. But there you go. Yeah. Well, so many pander to the voters. Especially if the people in the area are people that would normally vote for your colour or your sort of party colour. Same thing, because the colour represents the party red and blue. So yeah. But it's very much a case. Get the right people for the job. Yeah. Whether they have the body of a male or female, it doesn't matter. It's got nothing to do with the body. It really isn't. It's got to do with the wisdom, it's got to do with the knowledge and understanding and the braveness of that individual. You've got to have wisdom, you've got to have knowledge and understanding, you've got to have the ability to bring the right people in, and that's where wisdom often comes in. And bravery. Because, if you think the person to bring in is the person that your own party want brought in, you've got to be tough and you've got to bring them in. You've got to see that the job and doing the job is far more important. Well, I said the same is concerned with regards to Christianity. You can be a people pleaser or you can be someone who pleases God. You really can't be both. The only way to be both is to please God, because God will change you in a way that some people will be pleased with you and who you are. But not all. But if you're a people pleaser, you won't please all anyway. You'll only please some anyway. So you might as well please God and still please some. Yeah. So, hopefully they get the right person in charge. That's the thing. I hope that that's the case. Time will tell. It really is up to the party now to be... Well, they put it this way. They've just had a warning. They've just had a very, very strict warning sent to them about what is not acceptable. And they also know that the Labour Party has taken charge with regards to the what's it called? The numbers. So if the election was tomorrow, they reckon the Labour Party would win by a massive landslide. So of course the Conservative Party has to take this seriously. Try and get the right person in, not just to get through this situation now, but to do so and then be able to at least stand a chance of winning the next election. That's a tough one to do. Could I tell you who would be the person? No idea. I'm not that into politics anymore. So, But clearly, what was spoken of in the church about that was clearly wrong. God did not want Liz Truss to do that. So that basically, why do I mention that? Because when I talk about you know them by their fruit, you know whether people are led. If they're making statements like that and they are so wrong, then you know certainly at that meeting, at that time, they weren't being led. Does that mean anything? In the long term, no, but in the short term, yes. Yeah. Well, it means they're not being led. Or certainly that there are occasions where they're quite happy to blurt out stuff, big stuff, mentioning God, and they're not being led to do so. That isn't good. But that's where they are. And that's the reality. That's why I say, from a long-term point of view, it means nothing, because where people are going to be long-term, well, hopefully, they're going to be in a far, far better place. Yeah. But it is important to realise where people are now. Because should you be taking lead from people who aren't being led? No. That's the point. No, you shouldn't. And so you've got to be aware of whether people are being led by God or not. It's important for that reason. As well as understanding, okay, if God wants me to pray for someone, what do I need to pray for? What is the thing I need to pray with regards to this person? Well, being led is one thing, certainly. So, yeah. So, there you go. You take care, God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Have a wonderful week. Well, the rest of it. What there is left. Which is not a lot. But we've still got the weekend. So, you take care, God bless. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.